How we doing, everybody? This is Let's Be Real, Brad, and today I'm going to be going over my next movie on the 31 days of 31 Halloween movies, and we're going to start with the 1990 The Witches. The Witches is a dark fantasy comedy film that is directed by Nicholas Roeg. It's based off the 1983 Roald Dahl novel. It is the final film that Jim Henson worked on with his production company and before he passed away. This is a movie that I knew I needed to cover during the 31 days of Halloween movies because the new one is actually coming out this Thursday on HBO Max that I will be covering on Thursday, maybe Friday, depending on when it comes out, when I get the review done. But I want to check out this original one because there seems to be this nostalgic classic love for this movie, has really good reviews, and it was a box office failure. So to me, I was kind of wondering, is this just a cult following? Do people really like this movie? Is this hocus pocus situation? And I gotta say, I really did enjoy this movie. Let's start off with the amazing positives of this movie. Anjelica Huston as the Grand High Witch. She is fantastic in this movie. She steals every scene. All the energy flows through her. She's conniving, she's evil, she's dark, and really creepy. If I watched this as a kid, I'd be absolutely terrified of her. She is absolutely perfect in this role. I could not see anyone else be it. So hopefully the new one does a really good job. Maybe changes the tone a little bit. But Anjelica Huston is amazing. Makeup and costume design is absolutely on point. I mean, you gotta look at some of these creature designs and all the makeup and the prosthetics that they had to go through. It's truly incredible, especially in the amazing eating scene. I had no idea where that scene was going, and that proved out to be probably my favorite scene in the whole film. A lot of it is due to Jim Henson and his production company working on the film, and knowing that Jim Henson and his production company worked on it, you know it's gonna look good. That team is absolutely incredible, doing amazing work in the 70s, 80s, and even the early 90s because they knew what looked good, what prosthetic, what makeup, and how you can make these costumes look so lifelike and actually age so well. It's definitely super duper creepy to this day, and if I was a little kid, I would never want to watch this movie ever again. I actually really enjoy the humor in this movie and more of the writing because this is a movie that is definitely made for kids, but it never feels like it's watered down. It's trying to be all babyish that a lot of movies have done now, and it feels like you can watch this at any level because there was a time where I was watching this and I thought to myself, is this really made for kids? I don't know. I mean, it was a different time back then in the 80s and 90s and what was marketed to kids, but it allows the audience to actually feel like that they're smart and actually have to pay attention and actually understand the jokes a little better with the subtle hints that they have in the movie that I found were really, really good. The movie has a really nice story that flows extremely well, and I really enjoy the writing in this movie. The creepy images are really important to this movie, and it really does make the movie so perfect for the Halloween season. I can understand why so many people really love this movie. I mean, the witches themselves are absolutely scary, and they're probably better than anything that I've seen that's probably done CGI. This stuff looks so real and disgusting, and just the amount of work and the amount of time that went into putting it on, taking it off, and doing it for so long, and probably had a lot of health issues to these actors and actresses that I think that's really important to see. All the technical aspects of this movie are very solid all the way around. The directing is good, the editing is pretty solid. I think the music works with this movie, has this more magical fairy tale feel to it that I all think is really solid. I think the child performances are actually not that bad in this movie. I think their characters are a little annoying, but I do think that the acting is pretty solid all the way around, especially that the kids are very prominent. They actually have to use some voice work in this movie. The only negatives of this movie is the ending. Apparently, the ending was changed from the original novel, that they actually filmed two separate endings so they can show the original author of that ending, and apparently he was moved to tears by it. But then they instead went with the other ending that, to me, feels like it went completely against everything it was doing. It is so watered down. It has that Disney feeling of an ending. It's just really disappointing that the own author loved everything else about it, and then this ending, which was a really good ending that I really don't want to get into just in case you haven't seen it. But the original ending actually would have made sense, and I think it is much better than what they went with. There's a lot of cheese in this movie, and it's something that gives it its classic nostalgic view of it that I do have with some of these older films, but at sometimes it doesn't necessarily work for me and just feels a little too silly, and it feels like it's just a really kind of bad budget movie. The first 30 minutes of this movie really didn't keep me in this movie. The movie's already clocking in around 90 minutes, so that's already a good chunk of the movie right there. And I feel like it was just really boring. The first 8 minutes of the movie is so much exposition. Once we finally get rid of the first 30 minutes, the movie is a joyride for the next 60 minutes, hour. It is really, really tons of fun, and I was hooked all the way through. Also, once we finally get through that point, the movie becomes so predictable for the rest of the movie, and it's not necessarily a massive criticism. There are no other twists and turns that it takes once you finally get to around the 35-minute mark, 40-minute mark. It just is exactly the way you think it's gonna go. Overall, this is a really fun Halloween movie that I know a lot of you guys really like. It has a really great dark humor that doesn't talk down to its audience, really great makeup, really fantastic performances. Even Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, is in this movie, and so that was definitely a really big smile that came on my face. I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. Let me know, guys, do you guys really love this movie? Do you guys hate it? Did you guys see it when it came out, or have you watched it since you were a kid? I want to know all those things down below. As always, please like and share the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It means the world to me. You guys are liking my videos. Subscribe to my channel. You guys are the best. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.